The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers teased that Ridge was jealous, thinking that Brooke and Deacon were romantically involved. Longtime fans of The Bold and the Beautiful will recall that Sheila and Brooke had many conflicts in the past. They were enemies for many years. Therefore, if forced to face each other again, both cannot avoid big arguments. Sheila and Brooke will have a tense confrontation, and Deacon will do his best to prevent the two of them from continuing to argue. Fans of The Bold and the Beautiful will recall Sheila and Brooke had many conflicts in the past. They were enemies for many years. Therefore, if forced to face each other again, both cannot avoid big arguments. Sheila and Brooke will have a tense confrontation, and Deacon will do his best to prevent the two of them from continuing to argue. Fans of The Bold and the Beautiful will find that Sheila has a plan to carry out a plot to harm Brooke. She intends to swap out the bottle of non-alcoholic champagne to intentionally get Brooke drunk. When she's no longer sober, Sheila will take action. If that's what Sheila wants to do for her plot, then Deacon could be with Brooke that night. Deacon was also drunk. He drank too much, and that made it easier for him to be with Brooke. Of course, neither of them knew what was going on, as Sheila's plan led them to a terrible plot that Sheila had plotted for them. Sheila forces Deacon to have a drink at Giordano's, but has no idea that the bottle he's drinking is real champagne from Brooke's party. Bold and the Beautiful spoilers tease that on New Year's Eve, Deacon and Brooke will be together, and Brooke will be vulnerable when she gets drunk. That's why Deacon wanted to protect and love this weak woman. Maybe at that moment, both of you feel cared for and shared, which is what they need most. Deacon is also drunk, but he will notice Brooke's need for help when she's not fully awake. They stay together and talk about the past on New Year's Eve, and it looks like Brooke and Deacon will be together all night. Deacon wakes up the next morning not knowing what happened, and Brooke wakes up with a hangover and a big regret. Deacon could think for a moment and suddenly realize that someone was behind all of this. Exactly, Sheila is behind the champagne swap, giving Brooke and Deacon a pretty bad night. He definitely wants to keep their secret, and so does Brooke. After that night, the two continue to act as if nothing had happened, and everything returned to its original state in the following days. But there would be some questions for Brooke when Ridge returns from his business trip. As expected, Ridge assumed that Brooke had cheated on her when she was romantically involved with a man other than him. Though she denied it, Ridge believes he is right to say so. If forced to admit, Brooke can explain to him that he was harmed by someone because he drank alcohol by mistake. Ridge may not have been the party that day, but he sensed that there was a special interest between the two of them. It's not hard to see why Ridge is so suspicious, although Brooke completely denies it.